Building a massive 3D layered arch is one of the best ways to level up your event decor business. But there is one big problem: transport. Most people don't have a big van or a truck when they are just starting out. And that's why I designed this 6.5 feet tall collapsible layered arch. It's specifically sized to fit almost any medium SUV. And in this video I'm going to show you the entire process and the techniques I use to build this from start to finish. If you have some woodworking experience, you'll be able to follow along and recreate this build easily. But if you want a true step-by-step approach, including the exact measurements, more detailed tutorials and the PDF blueprint, you can join my mini course. In the course I go into much deeper detail on this 6.5 feet tall build. Plus, I include the full plans for the massive 7x6 feet version as well. You can find the link in the description below. As for this build, you don't really need much. All I'm using is 2 sheets of 1/2 inch birch plywood and 1 sheet of a 1/4 inch bendable plywood. And maybe a few scrap pieces for supports. And that's it. I have already trimmed my plywood down to 6.5 feet by 4. Standard plywood comes in 4x8 sheets, so I just cut them to size I need and transferred all the measurements to the board. To draw the curves, I'm using my 48-inch aluminum ruler. I drilled some holes at every inch, which lets me easily draw large circular shapes. Pretty much it serves me as an extra large compass. For the design we have one thicker line, it's about 5 inch, and then 3 additional layers, each 3 inches wide. That's what creates the layered arch effect. One small tip here: mark your lines on both sides of the board. Later, when you are assembling everything, this makes it much easier to know exactly where to drive your nails. No guessing game here. And this middle line you see, it's important. If you wanted a one-piece arch, you wouldn't cut there and just leave it whole. But since the goal is to make this arch fit inside an SUV, we are building it in 2 halves. Each half will have its internal support pieces, and later we will connect them together in the middle. So I'm going to cut right down the center line and separate the 2 sides. For the straight cuts, I'm using my Makita track saw with guide rail. This helps keep everything nice and straight. Just try to follow your lines as accurately as you can. But don't stress about absolute perfection, you are not building fine furniture here. This is just event decor. As long as it looks good and stands strong, you are doing great. After the straight cuts, I switch to my jigsaw with a scroll blade to cut the curves. I usually start with the outer cut first and then work my way toward the inner layers. One small tip that will save you a lot of confusion later: label every piece as you cut it. This is relevant to all more complicated builds. Even if you think you will remember, it's very easy to mix things up during assembly. It only takes a few seconds and it makes the rest of the build much easier. Now it's time to start assembling the arch. Right here I have the back wall piece that I cut earlier, and these are the stair-shaped support blocks. These support pieces are what create the depth for the layered design. For this collapsible version of the arch, I'll be using 10 of them. They will be attached across the back panel to hold everything together and give the structure its strength. To position them, I simply follow the reference lines that I marked earlier. The exact placement isn't extremely critical in the middle, but the top and bottom supports should sit flush with the edges of the board. That keeps everything aligned when we attach the front layers. Remember how earlier I suggested marking lines on both sides of the board? This is exactly where that helps. When I flip the board over, I can clearly see where the support pieces is sitting, which means I know exactly where to fire my nails. No guessing. For assembly, I'm using wood glue and 1 1/4 inch brad nails. And quick safety reminder, be careful with your hands when using a nail gun. Brad nails are thin, and sometimes if they hit a knot in the wood grain, they can actually shoot out sideways. It's rare, but it does happen. And also, I have no idea why I'm not wearing safety glasses here. So keep your fingers clear and always use common sense with safety. Once all the supports are installed, I can attach the front layers. This part is pretty straightforward. But one thing that really matters is making sure everything is perfectly flush at the bottom. If the pieces align nicely at the starting point, the rest of the arch will naturally line up as you move upward. Because we are working with wood, sometimes the pieces might not be perfectly straight. You might need to push or pull them slightly to get everything aligned. I'll speed up the video while I'll finish attaching the second side, since the process is exactly the same. Now let's talk about one of the most important materials in this build, bendable plywood. If you have never worked with it before, don't worry, it's actually pretty easy to find. Just open your Google Maps and search for hardwood dealers near me. These are usually smaller specialty lumber shops that supply cabinet makers and furniture builders. They often carry materials that big box stores don't. Bendable plywood usually comes in 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch thickness. For this project, I'm using 1/4 inch, which bends very easily around the curves of the arch. The surface can be a little rough compared to birch plywood, but after some light sanding or little wood filler, it looks great once painted. And for builds like this, it's perfect material. Now it's time to attach the bendable plywood strips, which will form the outer shell of the arch. I usually start with strips cut from a full 4x8 sheet, so they begin around 8 feet long. Then I simply attach them first and trim off whatever hang over the edge later. This saves a lot of time because you don't have to worry about getting the curve measurements perfectly right. To attach the strip, I'm using wood glue and 3/4 inch brad nails. That length works perfectly with this thin plywood. Once everything is attached, I'll cut the excess with a jigsaw and then use my compact router with a flash trim bit to make the edges perfectly smooth. With one side finished, I'll repeat the same process on the other side. Before attaching the strip, I apply wood glue along the edges and carefully bend the plywood around the curves. You might notice this strip is wider than it needs to be. I always cut bendable plywood slightly wider than necessary. Because the strip is long, it can shift a little left or right while you are nailing it down. If you cut it to the exact width, you might end up with small gaps in the end. Giving yourself that extra ½ inch of material guarantees full coverage, and then the flash trim bit cleans everything up perfectly. Now that the outer shell is finished, we can add the middle layer details. For this design, we have 4 thin strips that sit inside the arch and create that layered look. Before gluing anything, I like to dry fit the pieces first. I place them inside the arch, mark the length I need, and then cut them slightly longer. Usually about ½ inch extra just to be safe. For glue, I'm using Titebond 3. You can absolutely use Titebond Original or Titebond 3 or any other wood glue, but I prefer Titebond 3 because it has a longer open time. And trust me, the time will definitely come when this is going to save you. Once the first strip is installed, the rest go on the exact same way. And this is where those marks I marked earlier really help. They show me exactly where the support are behind the panels, so I know precisely where to fire my nails. Everything lines up perfect. Once these strips are installed, you can finally see the full layered arch design coming together. At this point, both halves of the arch are basically complete. Earlier, I purposely cut the bendable plywood a little wider than necessary. Now it's time to clean that up. To remove the overhang and make everything flush, I'm using my compact router with flash trim bit. I'm just going slowly around the edges and let the bit follow the surface of the plywood. And as you can see, I'm wearing my safety glasses this time, and a mask. Routers create a lot of dust, so protection is definitely a good idea here. Once this step is done, all the edges come smooth and perfectly aligned. Here is a detail I like to add to almost all of my 3D builds. It's optional, but it really improves both stability and durability. Think of it like a shoe for the bottom of the arch. The width matches the arch, but the depth is a little larger, so it creates a small overhang in the back. That extra space allows you to place sandbags behind the arch at events, which makes the structure much more stable. I trace the bottom shape of the arch onto a piece of plywood, cut it slightly oversized and then trim it flat. I recommend attaching this base with wood glue, brad nails and a few screws. But also you might want to skip the glue and use only screws. That way, if the bottom ever gets damaged by water or wear over time, you can simply remove it and replace it with a new base. Now here is a small trick that can make your work look much more professional. I don't like how sharp the inner corners of the layers look. So what I do, I use Alex fast dry caulk along those seams. Then smooth it with my finger to create soft rounded transition. Once everything is painted, this detail makes a huge difference. The arch looks much cleaner and almost furniture level finished. It's a small step, but it really helps your work stand out. Now the final step is connecting the two halves of the arch. Even though they fit together nicely, floors at events are rarely perfectly flat, especially if you are setting up outside on a grass. So to keep the center seam tight and invisible, I connect the two pieces using bolts and wing nuts. Here is the process. First, I place the halves on a flat surface and align them the best I can. Then I clamp them together so nothing shifts. After that, I drill 3 1/4 inch holes through the support blocks. I use 1/4 inch bolts, flat washers and wing nuts, which makes it easy to tighten everything by hand without needing tools at the event. And that's it! A 6.5 feet layered arch backdrop that breaks down into 2 pieces and fits in almost any SUV. It's lightweight, easy to transport and perfect for weddings, baby showers, birthdays and any other events. And if you enjoy builds like this and want to learn how to create more event decor from plywood, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next build.